Hey, good evening. It's really great to have you here. Tonight we're going to be listening to one of my favorite beatboxing artists, Wing, and his song Doppelganger. I have heard this once when it came out, but I don't remember the groove, I don't remember the intricacies. I just remember it being very clean, very technical, and the groove itself made me feel a certain way that I don't specifically remember, so I'm really excited to explore those feelings again. In my last video of Dimash, that was met with a lot of support and a lot of criticism, and I always welcome respectful debate, of course. I think it's important for society itself to have open and respectful debate. But when there comes a time when you're so deeply connected to an artist and your emotions speak for themselves instead of attempting to understand a different viewpoint or a devil's advocate or even an antithetical view, then it's very easy to misconstrue what the opposition is attempting to express. And when it comes to discussing ideas, something important, or something that I think is important to keep in mind, is the discussion being held in good faith? Is truth and understanding each other the objective, or is it something like imposing conformity to one's own opinions? Is there a general goodwill towards others? And what's the overall goal of the discussion? Something that I've seen a lot of in the last video was people accusing me of direct arrogance, and while I don't see the arrogance in it, I'm not saying that it's not there, but the reason why I imitate Dimash is the same reason why I imitate any beatboxer. When I first started beatboxing, I listened to professionals and I was nowhere near their level. They were light years away from where I was, but I still imitated them. Why? Because it's fun. It's fun imitating people that you look up to. You like being able to say, wow, this is really interesting. This is really captivating. I wonder if I'm able to do this. And even if you have a small inkling of success in that process, then that could be enough to get you hooked. Like in the anime Haikyuu, you have someone like Hinata, our main protagonist, which is a very charismatic and very eager but yet naive student. And when he goes out, he says, I know that I can do this. I know that I'm really good at jumping and I'm a really good athlete. But he goes out and he's kind of slapped in the face with the reality of how little his skill is in comparison to the rest of his teammates, especially his rival, Kageyama. And it's up to him to take his feedback loop of success saying, okay, I know that I'm a good athlete and I can work with this. I can work with this to become better and stronger and more capable, and eventually maybe even get to this level of wanting to be where I want to be, which is in the top echelon of athletes. And it's honestly the same with me. When I listen to really great beatboxers or really great vocalists like Dimash, it's very much a, wow, this is really incredible, far better than anything that I'm capable of at this moment in time. I wonder what it would sound like if I tried to imitate it. And it's just maintaining that childlike wonder. While I'm not saying that there wouldn't be a certain level of arrogance within that, ultimately, I think it's more fueled by something more pure, something more genuine and childlike, in the sense of just being completely enthralled and captivated by someone's skill, by someone that you might even have an emotional affinity for, and just really feel this great connection with that artist, just by being able to know that both of you are attempting the same things, feeling a sense of connection in action instead of just saying words of adornment and admiration. But those are just my 2 cents, And I kind of want to take a step back from that a little bit. I just want to enjoy something that I personally really enjoy, which is this artist. And I'm just really excited to sit back, relax, flow into a groove, have no sense of lampooning or anybody excoriating anyone else, just being able to really enjoy the vibe. And that sounds like it sounds like bliss right now. So without further ado, let's jump in to the King of Grooves, Doppelganger by Wing.
They just control the sipping. Not soldiers color display. Lost in the chase, living like upon replay.
Oh, it's such a flow. Those snares.
In the shadow of their fame, losing myself in this game. You need to be afraid that we can lean on someone's back. Just be a pioneer.
Those inhales on that tone, it's so complex. I love that. Oh, those snares. Ah, those combos, man. Oh. Yeah, back to the melody. Yeah, what a groove. And those combos were so good. And the fact that he was doing these inhales on actual tones, and he was so exact and clean with them. I think that's so difficult. Just like do do ah. Oh man, that is so tough. And to make it sound actually good and not as horrible as I just did, man, what? Oh, that was so good. That was so good. What a groove. It just kind of felt like you're in a road trip on a long freeway, and you're just keeping your hand out the window and you're just letting the wind flow around it, and you're just feeling this beautiful groove and just flowing with it. Man, I love that. Let's jump into the analysis of that. Yeah, just that beginning where you have those really nice, clean, clear clicks, the interchanging between his throat bass, that and his voice, which is just very smooth. And it's so smooth, and all of his sounds just transition so smoothly from one note to the next. I really can't describe it other than those very simple adjectives, but it's just how I feel.
They just control the sipping.
Yeah, and just like that sound like a pop though. Yeah, it just adds a little texture. It's only there for a split second, but that texture really does leave an imprint.
Not soldiers color displayed. Lost in the chase, living like upon replay.
Yeah, and I still am having a very difficult time being able to replicate that click roll that he does in terms of his breath inward. It just flows so well with the rest of the beat. You know, everything is just chosen, and the combos are so consistent, and the sounds are very clean and crisp. There's no words. Yeah, and yeah, just that quick lip bass, that lip roll, so smooth, so clean, love it. Yeah.
In the shadow of their fame.
Yeah. And while I think Wing's voice is fine, you know, I wouldn't say Wing's voice itself is necessarily anything outlandish or crazy, but it works so well with his groove because he's not trying to impress with his insane vocal technique. It's just pitch with this very gentle voice. In the shadow of their fame, oh, ooh, oh, ooh, do, 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 losing myself in this place, or whatever the lyrics are. But it's nothing like in the shadow of the, or some kind of insane belt or anything like that. It's just really smooth, soft, subtle, and it's so gentle. And honestly, this is something that I really needed right now. Wow. I didn't even know how much I needed this. I love this so much. I love this groove. And honestly, I'm so glad that his voice is matching the beatbox right now. I wouldn't want it any other way, to be honest.
Losing myself in this game. No need to be afraid that we can lean on someone's back. Just be a pioneer.
Yeah, just that. It's nothing like a really crazy kind of, any kind of like intense buildup or anything like that. It's just. And it's a very consistent buildup, and you can tell that it is rising to a drop, but it's nothing just so crazy about to hit a massive dubstep drop or anything. It still works within the context of the groove, and I really, really appreciate that. And it's so technical, and it just kind of trickles. It trickles down. It's like watching an icicle just emit water from gravity. And it's both delicate yet very strong in its foundational roots. You can tell that a lot went into mastering a lot of these combinations and in the sound specifically, because every single sound he's making is so crisp and clean. Love it. Oh, yeah! I love the way he plays with the sounds there. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so fun and whimsical, but it keeps you in the context of the groove, but it doesn't necessarily have to follow 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though that's the outline, he's just playing so much within that playground with different offbeats and syncopations. It's so much fun. I love listening to him. Yeah, and it's so gentle. it it's so gentle, but it has this weight, and I love that. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video with me. I love this artist a lot, and I love his groove, his consistency. It's so good. I'm excited to watch more of his stuff again, because it's been a minute, so it'll be really nice to revisit some of those, and a bunch of other beatboxers as well. Something that I'm going to do in terms of an update to the channel is I'm going to film some more stories. And I know the stories aren't popular by any means, but my mom told me that she really likes listening to them before she goes to bed, and that means a lot to me. And that's enough of a reason to do it, to be perfectly honest. So, hi, Mom. But even more than that, I just love storytelling, and I love being able to express just a fun and whimsical and charming tale through fun voices. As just a quick story in terms of my life, growing up, my mom would often use fun, happy little voices when she read stories to me, and that left such an imprint on me in terms of what I wanted to do when I became a performer, when I became a professional storyteller, when I engaged with opera. So it really is something really magical, and something that I take with me whenever I either give critique in music or perform it in and of itself. So I'm really excited to make a few more stories. I'm excited to do more beatboxing content, more voice content, and whatever other content I might decide to dabble with and experiment with. I appreciate all of you being here to not just give me your thoughts and opinions, but to just enjoy the vibe with me, like this video was. I'm not here to argue with anyone. If there's an educational discussion, I'd be more than happy to engage. This channel is all about creating a really strong and consistent vibe with room for discussion, and that's all I really want out of this channel. But at the same time, while I do my best to express felicity, I am ultimately a pretty socially awkward person and still have challenges here and there on expressing what it is that I truly want to express in a way that is accurate and apt. And also, I remember a quote from author Albert Hubbard, who had once said to a person who vehemently disagreed with an article he wrote one day and wrote into him, and he just said, "You know what? I don't entirely agree with what I said yesterday, myself. Not everything I wrote yesterday appeals to me today, so I'm interested to learn what you think on the subject," end quote. And honestly, I love that. It lets us know that we're all human, we're all open to, or we're all capable of change and change of opinion, especially the more we grow and the more we listen and observe. So honestly, who knows where I'm going to be in an hour from now? Who knows where I'll be tomorrow, in a few months, years, etc. So I'm just really excited to grow and keep growing. You know, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to make apologies for something if I make an error, or if I misread something or anything like that. I'm just a human being. But more than anything, I'm just really happy to be able to experience this music with you guys. I'm really happy to be able to engage in new artists and engage with new musical ideas and witnessing the expansion of what we've come to know as the bounds of music. And music to me is like a universe. It's infinitely growing. It's not confined by any one container. So I love being able to see artists just keep expanding and breaking out of those perceived molds, and it's why I love being an artist, and it's why I love engaging with other artists and engaging with people who truly find the value in artists. So with all of that said, I deeply appreciate all of you being here. If there's something that you guys might have a point of contention with, let me know and I'd be more than happy to discuss it. Or if there's just something that you didn't like and you just want to vent it out to me, I completely understand that too. I respect your opinion, and ultimately I hope that you continue watching, but if not, I completely understand, and I wish you the best in your endeavors. Ultimately, I just hope everybody is able to enjoy music, not just as much as I do, but as much as they do in their own regard. You know, everybody is able to find their own sense of joy in anything, and I just hope that people pursue what truly makes them happy and satisfied with life. Thank you so much for watching. I deeply appreciate you being here. It honestly means a lot to me that we're able to explore music together and just really enjoy the vibes, the grooves, and enjoy each other's company and be able to talk about it in a respectful and educated way. It honestly means a lot that all of you are here. It truly does. And to be able to have this level of engagement that I've been getting has just been extraordinary. You know, I'm deeply appreciative for those of you that are still here, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm really excited to keep reacting to more content in the future and keep making stories and just keep the vibe of the channel consistent. You know, who knows what we'll explore next. So I hope you're ready to join me on this journey. Have a great evening, everyone. Take care.